Bit of a exercise.
You're listening to Pocket Jaces, the podcast where your hosts DJ Ciaran and Niall do stuff with you. I don't have the thing up on the screen, so I can't even tell you what we do. But we talk about magic and poker sometimes. Hello, everyone. Hello.
We're
We're here.
Beats. That's all I remember.
Right.
Yeah. How's
Yeah.
it going, guys? Welcome, Niall. Back to to the stream. I don't think you've done a live streamy one once
No.
before. Yeah. But glad to have you here, buddy.
Thanks for having me. The fabled Pocket Jaces podcast interview.
The
My
trio.
God. The trio. The boys are back in town. No, great to be here, guys. Thanks for having me back on for a night. For sure.
Brilliant. First time chat from viewer. Sharkbait says here for the meat hook. God damn it, DJ. Keep telling this to people. This card is like €45 or something like that. I'm gonna go broke.
It is €45. Sharkbait, your meat hook is in the post. We already have all your details through twitch.tv, so
Yeah. Thank you,
but
Bezos, our
you
overlord.
do have to watch the entirety of the stream before you get the meat hook. There was some small print.
Yeah, and give us a follow, maybe. That wasn't in the small print, but
you can give
you
us
want
a
to
follow
anyway.
too, we've even got this nice little ticker beneath us now that I've created that keeps telling people to follow, and just magical stuff that I've done in that week off. We had a week off. I'm sure loads of people were really sad about it. But we used that time, as you can see, very, very well. We even had a nice little car driving through in the intro and everything.
I saw that. I like that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah.
It was meant to be playing for the whole intro, but I forgot. But I got it in for the last 10 seconds, so that'll do. I'll remember.
Mark says, I'm in Nebraska, so sorry for postage. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be the majority of money I spend is going to be on postage for these magic cards. Yeah, thank you, DJ, again.
Is this Peter Bit? Because if it is Peter Bit, hello.
It is
good to have you.
It should be, right? Yeah,
it should be. I believe Peter's living in America and his surname is Bit,
Nice.
so that makes sense.
good.
But yeah, welcome on in. Good to have you with us. I hope you're doing well, Peter. Hope you're doing well. Niall. Niall's back.
Wow,
He's with us.
I'm back.
We're interviewing him. We're going to have a quick catch up for 20 minutes or so, and then
Sure.
we're going to have the funnest quiz you've ever seen in your life. I've worked on it all day, and yeah, it's just gonna be great. So stick around.
We love a quiz around here. As you guys know, I do my daily learnedleague.com internet quiz, and today I only got one question correct out of 6. So I need a quiz to redeem myself because today was not.
Okay.
Well,
so,
I'm your opponent, so you should be absolutely fine.
Well,
yeah, I mean, all your smart boy knowledge is going to do nothing here. We're going to be asking you, what is this piece of artwork from Magic: The Gathering history? Is that come on?
I'm not so good at that. Like I've said before, I don't really like take in the details of magic art. I just sort of like glaze over it and look at the sort of general shape overall, and that's kind of all that goes into my brain usually. Like I can't really tell you details about many magic cards.
There's so many magic cards where I've looked at it for the 100th time and thought, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
My brain just saw shape,
Yeah.
Scavenging ooze always gets me, but I think that's a common get.
Signal pest, I know, is one as well. People always
Signal
think the arm is the head, or vice versa, whatever it is. Yeah.
I couldn't parse the artwork of Tarmogoyf for the longest time either. Like Future Sight Tarmogoyf. Like that was just a blur to me. I did not see a creature there whatsoever. It was just nothingness. It wasn't until maybe 10 years after that card was printed, it's like, oh, that's a mouth? Oh, there we go. Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah,
I remember I thought Sylvan Advocate was like a lady elf for like the entire time it was in standard, and it's like an elf with a big grey beard, I think, and I just never looked at it.
Sharkbait.
You mean I had several wanks to? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
That's just because of power level, though. That's what kept me off,
of course, yeah.
2 mana, 4/5 vigilance. Let's go.
Go. But yeah, Niall, how have you been? It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while
It's been a while. Thanks for having me on. It's been great. What to report? I suppose this is my first opportunity to tell the audience why I'm gone. I suppose you guys were very gracious and said I had other commitments and things like that. But what happened was that we got together and the guys put together a streaming schedule and said this is what we want to do. And the kind of honest and frank answer was that I couldn't commit. And between family work and the new creative project I have, which is a metal band called KOMA, which we'll put links in. Everyone should go listen. And
of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
New single out now.
New single out now, exactly. So,
and that is KOMA spelled the same as the serpent from
the magic card.
The magic card, yeah. KOMA.
Exactly.
Which I don't think anyone would want to go near or something called that, to be honest. I think everyone has sort of visceral, disgusted reactions when it comes to that card, if they're anything like me.
Perfect for a metal band. Perfect.
Yeah, true, actually. Yeah.
It's supposed to inspire fear and dread in you as soon as you can see it and hear it, right?
Yeah.
But the honest answer is I don't have the time to commit to 2 creative projects at once. And the band actually takes way more time than Pocket Jaces. It's just infinite work, and like you can do infinite admin if you're in a band and you self-promote and self-manage. There's no end to the amount of admin work you can do. So we're getting that rolling. So I am 100%. Sorry that I'm not here all the time, but I am so happy to be here and chat and talk to the lads. And I watch the show every week. Without fail.
Well, it's
Peter
really
says
good.
makes a 3-3 every song intro. That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
As long as you play at a pretty slow pace, during a Magic game, you're just pumping out a 3-3 every couple of minutes.
That's it. So, interesting enough, the band has 2 Magic players, 3 chess players.
Okay.
Wow.
And one of the guys plays. Well, I suppose it's a gaming thing. He plays international. He's on the Irish hockey team. So,
that's incredible. Wow, that's amazing.
Which is actually incredible. He plays international hockey. He's in Holland at the minute playing a couple of international matches, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It actually blows my mind that someday that guy might be an Olympian.
Yeah, that's wild. That's so cool.
What an insane opportunity. Yeah. But I try to work in as many Magic references into the lyrics as I possibly can, and hopefully, only Magic players know.
So I remember
with metal bands, you see so much of that, and it cracks me up every time I see it. Yeah.
I remember you gave us a sneak peek of your new single a couple of weeks ago, and you said there's a Magic reference in here. Listen out for it. Is that Magic reference Ancient Grudge?
It is.
It is. Yes.
You got
it.
Nice. Yes. So well done. Yeah, I'll be popping more of them in. So. But yeah, I
really want to see. I really want to see a super shoehorned one in, Findhorn elves or you don't get that.
I know. I'm a big fan of both. The band Thou. They're kind of like this sort of sludgy kind of doom metal band, but they do a lot of cover albums and stuff. They've done a whole Black Sabbath cover album and stuff, which is sick. But they did a collaborative album with Emma Ruth Rundle, who I really like as well. She's a vocalist, and she usually does more kind of ambient indie stuff. But in this, she really let loose with the screamy kind of metal vocals. It was really cool. But they had a song in there called Ancestral Recall, and I was doing the Leo DiCaprio meme, at the TV.
There's another Belfast band called Terminus. And they are actually named after the Magic card Terminus.
Oh, that's
awesome!
Cool.
Yeah, that's
I remember
cool.
there was a Belfast band called Elspeth as well, and I always wondered if they were named after.
They're from the late 80s.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
So, yeah, they're late 80s, early 90s. So they came up with the name before.
Wow.
Magic came up with them. Maybe Magic stole it off them. Who knows?
Pete in the chat says you need to mention high value cards so fans throw them on the stage. That's a good point.
That's true. Or just sneak in my buy spell specs to the buy sell specs lyrics.
Yeah.
Everybody sell me their meat hook massacres.
Yeah, one of my favorite bands, the Mountain Goats, I know has had fans bring up copies of the card Mountain Goat and ask him to sign them. Unfortunately, not such a high value card, but still a pretty cool reference, I think.
For anyone who comes to a KOMA gig, bring your KOMAs. I'm happy.
Absolutely. I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. Yeah. I would prefer that to anyone who was involved in the design of the actual card. I wouldn't say hello to them on the street.
Complete trash. Yeah.
So you mentioned.
Anyways,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm just gonna ask you how you guys are.
Yeah. Pretty good. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this. I think we've been off since, but got my final suit measurement. So now I'm in the business of maintaining the weight that I've lost. We had a super stressful week there. Coming up to the wedding, we've been talking about it a lot recently on the pod, but the original venue that we were meant to be having our reception in emailed us last week to say, hey, the capacity the capacity's changed and we can't do your thing anymore. Well, it wasn't so much we can't do your thing, but instead of being 100, they were chopping it down to 70 and making 30 people stand. We're like, well, no, we can't do that, really, can we? So we had a bit of a back and forth with them, including going down to meet with them, and then the person that we were speaking to didn't show up.
Wow.
And it just left us with a really bad taste in our mouths. So we ended up finding Malone House. It's called Niall. You might know it. I'm sure nobody listening knows where that is, but really nice, like old country house. That we that have thankfully taken us on for our wedding date. So we haven't had to move anything about at all. But that was really stressful for a couple of days. But got it sorted. Gaming wise, I cannot win a fucking game of Magic in this last week or so. I've been playing a lot of standards, and I've gravitated between Mono Black, John, Grixis, back to Mono Black, back to John, back to Grixis, and I can't win a fucking game with any of them, and I'm so annoyed that, like, I don't normally swear on the podcast. I'm so fucking annoyed. Yeah, I just can't buy a win. So not sure. I'm honestly thinking about going back to Delver, because Delver isn't actually bad. It would appear. So I mean, we'll see. We're not going to take super drastic measures yet. It even came to a point where it's like, you know what, I'm sick of Magic. Let's play some poker for the first time in ages. So
How'd that go, DJ?
Oh, let me tell you. So sat down at about 6:45. Ready to play a lovely day or a lovely evening of online poker, WCOOP main event day and everything. So registered my tournaments half an hour in, just after the Sunday Storm has started, which is by and large like one of the largest field poker tournaments ran on a regular basis. So yeah, Sunday Storm starts, and then the entirety of PokerStars crashes. All the tables are paused. Nobody can do anything. It's my fault for thinking that they will ever fix this, because it happens every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasted another hour and a half waiting to see if they would restart tournaments or cancel them, and then an hour and a half later they put up an announcement on Twitter saying that we're just canceling tournaments and giving refunds. So that's what happened. And annoying, because I was actually in the mood to play some poker that day as well, and yeah, it's just kind of bit of a sucker punch there, because I really wanted to bring a trophy, a WCOOP main event trophy to this stream, but what can you do? But yeah, I've talked enough. Ciaran, what about you?
Yeah, I've been taking it pretty easy. Haven't been playing much Magic. Mainly, I was grinding away on the sort of black X streets on Arena for a while in Standard, and yeah, I'm just kind of done with it now. I just feel like the format is very homogenous. Like, I'm looking at the results here. Like, one of this weekend's Standard challenges, the top 8 was 3 Grixis, 2 Esper, 2 Rakdos, and 1 Jund. That's the entire top 8. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not really where I'm at the
Sunday
moment.
one was a bit more diverse. I think it had like 2 Jeskai Control, a Boros Reanimator.
Yeah, it actually was won by Mono White Invoke Justice as well, which is pretty cool. So it's just like the normal list, but they're just playing the 5-drop dragon and instead of any other color kind of big guys to drop, so just more consistent, and you can cast your guys. So that seems kind of cool. Maybe I'll give that a spin. But yeah, in general, I've just been like, every match you play is against one of these decks, and you're usually playing one of these decks, so I was just a little bit bored with it. So I've just been playing some other games. I'm playing some Street Fighter. Celtic Throwdown was on at the weekend, but I didn't end up making it down. Just didn't work out schedule-wise for me. But playing that online a bunch still. People are really excited for Street Fighter 6 now. So a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork in the community and kind of coming back for games, trying to get back in shape for when the next game comes out, which will be in the spring most likely. And then I was saying to you guys off mic, I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5 for the first time, so I just finished that today. Amazing game, I gotta say. It's like I was saying to you, DJ, it does feel a little bit unfinished. There was all this sort of drama with them getting rid of Kojima and him sort of not getting to really finish off the series. Yeah, in the way that he wanted, he kind of seemed to get fucked by Konami, unfortunately. But the game is still great. It's such a great goodbye to the Metal Gear franchise, and like that's a series I started playing when I was like 12 or 13 years old or whatever, you know. So it was very emotional finishing that off, and like all the ridiculous, cheesy Kojima dialogue that like, if you didn't know the context and you hadn't been with these games for years, you'd be laughing at, but you're like almost tearing up because you're so used to the world he's created and how people speak in it. So that was really good. So I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I'm kind of just kind of in between games at the moment. Yeah, might start picking up Pioneer events in person or something like that. Just have something to play. But yeah, I don't really want to play standard at the moment, even if it is the tournament format, to be honest.
Well, it's a uniquely good time to play poker, especially for me and DJ, because the UK economy and the pound has gone to absolute shit.
So, very good point. Yeah.
So anytime the economy goes bad, it's great to play poker if you're a winning player.
If you're a winning
player, it's worse.
Yeah.
If you're a winning player, like there's no better time.
Yeah, because I made a tweet about that as well. Whenever like I paid my money to PokerStars for my deposit, and I was like, holy shit, the conversion rate's like 1-to-1 basically at the moment. I'm gonna lose so much more money every Sunday than I ever did.
But then if you have like money in your account, then you get richer.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
So,
yeah.
So I did see Sam Rolfe won the Arena Championship at the weekend.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
And he was talking about something similar, you know, because he won like $250,000 or something, which is worth a lot more than it was a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly.
And another UK guy, Harry 13, Martin Porter, one of the Scottish guys, he was saying that he had like thousands of dollars worth of product on Modo or something, and he was like, he's just been sitting on it for ages, and he's like, oh well, now
to sell, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what we've been up to anyway. I know we did kind of want to touch on because we are all relatively keen chess players, right? And there is a bit of drama in the chess world right now. So Niall rubbing the hands there, you love it.
I can give a summary because I've been following it quite closely.
Go ahead. I'll start. Yeah.
So basically the drama is that the world champion, current world champion, he's planning to abdicate the throne this year. I think he doesn't want to defend his title again. Magnus Carlsen competed in the Sinkfield Cup, which is one of the big prestigious classical chess tournaments every year. And a last-minute replacement for Richard Rapport, who couldn't play because he refused to get vaccinated and couldn't travel for the tournament. He was replaced last minute by a player named Hans Niemann, who is like a 19-year-old who is like a very controversial figure in chess. Like he's very has a sort of strange personality. He's very highly strung. He's known for kind of like raging out on his stream and stuff a lot of the time. And he's been known, especially among the top players, for being like a repeated cheater in online events. And as well, like during and after COVID, had like a very rapid rise in his classical rating, which is very unusual at his age. Like he went up like 150 or 200 points or something like that in a year or year and a half, which for when you're already an adult is a very unusual statistically to be able to do that. So a lot of people had questions about him and whether he was cheating in classical tournaments and stuff as well. But Magnus basically kicked this off by, in I think round 2 or 3 of the tournament, he lost to Hans and then he withdrew entirely from the Sinkfield Cup, withdrew from the tournament. This is unprecedented. He's never done this before in his career in a round robin tournament. And basically he didn't make any statement. Well, he tweeted out a video of Jose Mourinho, the football manager, saying, "I can't talk. If I talk, I will get in big trouble," was the quote in the Mourinho video.
Yeah.
So basically, saying without saying that he was essentially accusing Hans of cheating and wasn't comfortable playing against him and was taking a stand against this by quitting the tournament. Hans then went on in the tournament to give an interview saying that I cheated when I was 12 and when I was 16 online, but that was it, and never for any big money in tournaments or anything like that. And he said, chess.com have now banned my account, which is not the first time his account has gotten banned by chess.com. He's previously been banned for cheating. But he said this time chess.com have banned my account now after Magnus has done this. And he says, oh, it's unfair, basically. And chess.com are just taking Magnus's word. Danny Wrench, who's the sort of one of the bigwigs at chess.com, then tweeted a statement saying that that's not why they banned Hans, and his statements about the frequency and severity with which he cheated online on chess.com were very understated, and that he had cheated a lot more frequently and severely than he admitted to in the interview. So Hans since then has not issued a response to chess.com at all. He's stayed quiet on that subject since then, so that's like a month ago or something like that. Then Magnus had to play another tournament that Hans was in, which was, I can't remember the name, but it was a rapid online tournament. And I think in round 2, Magnus had to play Hans and resigned after move 1 in the game. He was playing as black, Hans made his move, Carlsen made his first move, Hans made a second move, and then Magnus resigned the game, disconnected his webcam, and didn't want to be interviewed about it. He was later interviewed about it and basically said, listen, I think cheating is a problem in chess. I can't say anything else. I'll say more at the end of the tournament. Magnus went on to win that tournament, that being one of only 2 games that he dropped in that entire tournament was that intentional loss against Hans. So even taking a loss, he still absolutely dominated the field and then won the top 8. Then the tournament ended, and this is the most recent sort of addition to the drama. Magnus released a statement basically saying, I think chess is a big problem, and we need to do something about it now. And he also said, I won't be agreeing to play with Hans in any future tournaments at this point. So people have a lot of different opinions about this, whether Magnus is in the right or in the wrong for doing this, for taking a stand in the way that he did, not having any actual evidence to share about, it's just, he's just going on his intuition as the greatest chess player who's ever lived in terms of ability, that he's confident that Hans has been cheating. A number of other grandmasters have said, yeah, it's kind of been an open secret for quite a while that Hans is a cheater, at least online. No one has proof that he's done it over the board in a classical tournament. But it's just been a very controversial subject. It's given a lot of attention to the world of chess. Not entirely in a good way, but I mean, this is probably the most people have talked about chess since the Queen's Gambit came out. So, any PR, it's good PR in a way, right? So, my opinion is that, whether or not it was the right way to go about it, I feel like Magnus wouldn't do this without feeling extremely strong about it. He's never done this before in his career. He's never accused anyone in his career like this before. And I don't know, maybe now that he's not going to defend the world championship anymore, maybe this is his last thing before retirement, that he's just going to blow the whole chess world up and just say, listen, here's all these cheaters out here, we have to do something about it, and then ride off into the sunset. I don't know, but a lot of people think it's unethical of him to do this just based on intuition without any evidence. What do you guys think? I guess DJ, let's go to you first. What do you think about this whole crazy situation?
So I think I'm glad that Magnus finally made a statement on it, because the longer it was going on, the more farcical it was becoming.
Mm-hmm.
So glad he made a statement on it. I definitely agree that he wouldn't be doing this without, some kind of just cause, even just in Magnus's head, about it. He wouldn't just go and do this for the sake of it. He's not doing it to try and just destroy someone's career for no reason. He definitely feels like there is something shady about Hans. The fact that he has this background of self-admitted cheating, and then also somebody else coming out and saying he's cheated way more times.
Yeah, on their platform, and they have as Hans said, they have the most advanced anti-cheating detection in the entire world. Hans was using that as an argument to try and say, I haven't cheated any more than I've admitted. But then chess.com came out and said, no, yeah, you have. We just didn't say it publicly. And they had said we had already told Hans in private and given him the evidence for why his account was closed.
Yeah.
So Hans was definitely some half-truths on that interview about that subject. Yeah.
Yeah. As to whether he's cheating in person or not, I think there's still a lot of questions there. I know there is a particular theory. We've got to talk about it. It's vibrating anal beads.
Just to bring this in, Sharkbait in the chat asks, how does one cheat at chess? Solvers, question mark. Yeah, basically that's it. So computers, engines are 1,000 times better, however many times better than you want to say it, than humans are at chess at this point. Having computer aided moves will make you completely superior to any other human competition. And Magnus and other top players have said basically, you wouldn't even need to give me the moves from the computer. I would just need an indication that like this move is a critical turning point in the game. And if I knew that, I would just look at that move for longer and be able to find the move myself if I knew to spend more time on it, if I spent half an hour on this move in the tournament. Because we're talking about these games are lasting like 6-7 hours, right? The clocks, they're very slow pace. So like Magnus is like, you wouldn't even need to give me the move. You would just need to let me know this is an important move. Think about it. And he basically said I would be completely invincible in chess if I got that little amount of help from a computer. So how you do that over the board, the more sort of pedestrian ways is, people have been found hiding phones in the toilet or in rooms with spectators. They've gotten some kind of physical signal from a friend or someone on their team in the room. Even such a thing as what table their coach goes to stand at to look at a different game during a certain point in the game, stuff like that. Just very like simple physical symbols. It could be any kind of code you come up with. But DJ, what is the slightly more spicy theory that you're referring to here?
Vibrating anal beads. So I think I haven't looked too much into that theory itself, but what I understand of it is that it would be the pulses of the vibrations, right, that would tell you where to move or what move is
some kind of Morse code, sure.
Apparently, there are apps whereby you can control your partner's sexual toy. I don't
know anything about that.
Don't know, but apparently this is the method by which.
And then people have said other things which aren't quite as entertaining, something in the sole of your shoe, or apparently magicians commonly will have something that's like a filling in your tooth or something like that. Yeah, and apparently those can pass sort of RF scanner tests and stuff as well. They did step up the security at this tournament after Magnus withdrew at the Sinquefield Cup and made everyone go through 15 extra minutes of body scans and stuff like that. Not sure what areas they were actually focusing on, But yeah, I mean but I mean it could be anything. People have also said that maybe someone in Magnus's camp leaked Magnus's preparation and what opening he was planning to play against Hans. Sure. Because the thing is, the thing that Magnus apparently found suspicious, what people think, is that he played an opening he had never played before in a classical game against Hans. He had never played it all. He had played it like once in 2017 in like a blitz game or something like that, but he'd never played it in a serious tournament game. And Hans miraculously knew the exact counter to the opening like perfectly. And that, like, whether Hans is cheating or whether he just actually knew that, Hans claims that he just happened to have looked at that opening that morning miraculously before the game, could well be telling the truth. But you can see in Magnus's head, he already has these suspicions about Hans, and then Hans somehow knows this incredibly obscure opening against him that he's never played before. So presumably is not something that he would spend a lot of time preparing for against Magnus if Magnus never usually plays this line, right? So, but yeah, there are other tournaments as well. Whether he cheated in that particular tournament or not, people have said there are suspicious tournaments, such as the ones where he got his Grandmaster norms, which the way it works is like to become a chess Grandmaster, you have to play a certain amount of tournaments with a specific performance in those tournaments against and you have to play against a certain amount of grandmasters or something like that in those tournaments as well. I'm not sure of the exact requirements, but it's something like that. But apparently, I think it was his last Grandmaster Norm tournament. He played well out of his usual ability score, essentially, and sort of had a lot of sort of maybe suspect games. But then people can argue against that and say, well, yeah, if you become a Grandmaster, you're going to have a good tournament in that, that result is going to be out, you are going to surpass your average, because otherwise you already would be a Grandmaster. You know what I mean? You're going to have a good day in order to have those results. So it's a strange drama. I don't know if you have anything to add to it so far now, but to me, it sucks, because it's like there's never going to be a conclusive result to this, I don't think. No. And the crap thing is like, so presumably the reason why the Magnus played the second tournament with Hans and then resigned to move on, presumably those contracts had already been signed, and Magnus, was locked into playing that at this point. People are saying this is unethical of Magnus now, because organizers are going to have to choose between inviting Magnus to a tournament and Hans to a tournament. And of course, they're going to choose Magnus because he's the world champion and he's a bigger star, and it's better for the tournament to have Magnus in it. So they're basically saying Magnus is essentially blacklisting Hans from entering these tournaments.
Well, from Magnus's point of view, then, if Hans is a cheat, then that's well justified, right?
Sure, but in terms of the broader chess world, it's like, is that fair that a player can come out without any evidence and just essentially have another player blacklisted from tournaments?
I suppose that's not, but I suppose Magnus's aim with the whole thing is, as you said, in his final year, to crack open this Pandora's box of...
Yeah, and who knows if it is his final year? I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe he plays for years. Who knows? But
yeah, sure. Yeah. But if there's systemic, like endemic problems in the chess world, then he's obviously reached a point in his career where he's decided, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to say something, I'm going to do something. Yeah. And I really respect that type of mindset, whether he went about it the right way. I respect that he's decided to take a stand. And I get in the heat of competition that's the action he decided to do. It's like, I'm done.
And kind of the other thing about that is like, so to people who like say like, okay, but that's not the right way to take a stand, he shouldn't have done that. It's like, well, what is the right way to do this then in a situation where it's like almost impossible to ever catch someone cheating?
Right.
And it's like all these grandmasters talk to each other and they all know he's cheating, and it's like an open secret. It's like, so what is the right way to go about it? How do you expose? It's going to be messy and dramatic either way, no matter what, right? So I think that's something Magnus thought about and decided he was okay with. Like, people, the thing is, like, so many people are into this drama that, like, I think don't even know how the pieces move in chess, you know what I mean? And they come to it and they go, this Magnus guy's a dickhead, and they look it up and it's like they find other kind of trolly things Magnus has done over the years, and they're like, he just doesn't like Hans. So I've seen people say this stuff, and it's like chess is Magnus's life, and he's been an ambassador and a champion for chess for so many years, and it's like, this is not something he would take lightly to do. It's not just because he doesn't like the guy or whatever, like you said. It's like him and Hikaru Nakamura famously don't get on, I think, and he's made fun of Hikaru and sort of decried him for doing various negative things over the years. He would never come out and try to destroy Hikaru's career like this just because he has a personal disagreement with him.
Exactly, correct. And what you said there's right is that I think people outside the gaming world don't really understand that chess is his life, and it's really offensive when you put your life into something and really hard work and everything you have into something, and someone just comes on and cheats.
Yeah,
I mean that's why cheating is something that really riles us up, kind of on the podcast, because we know how hard these things are.
Yeah,
and when you've done what Magnus has done, I'm going to come out and say I'm totally on side Magnus, because his reaction is way milder than mine would have been in those situations. I mean, this little shithead comes into the chess world and cheats, and I've worked all my life at it.
Yeah, and it's like, the thing is like, maybe his reaction wouldn't be as mild if there weren't legal implications, or like if he'd come out and said anything directly. There's a lot of people saying FIDE, who is the governing body for chess, would have suspended him from playing, because they have, like, chess is very old fashioned. Like, FIDE has all these rules about, like, players can't like quote unquote bring the game into disrepute and stuff like that. It's very like, you know what I mean? It's like Hikaru Nakamura got like a fine from FIDE because he showed up not wearing a suit at a game like 6 months ago. He showed up in like a t-shirt and blazer and he got fined for it. So it's like chess, like FIDE specifically, like who are the main over the board organization, it seems like they're kind of living in the past. And that's actually one thing I wanted to mention as well is like this idea they seem, and like these grandmasters and a lot of the older chess players seem to have this idea that it's like, oh well, if they just cheated online, that's fine. Online is whatever. It's only over the board in a stuffy hall wearing a suit that matters. That's real chess. And it's like, that's not the world we're living in 2022. There's no reason why online chess can't be as important and prestigious as over the board chess, right? That's a very like old-fashioned response. And there's a lot of people who think that way. Oh, he just cheated online. It's like, this kid is 19. It's like online chess has been his life probably since he was 5 years old. You know what I mean? That's the vast majority of chess that young people play is online chess. You know what I mean? Why is it inherently less important, or why is it okay if someone cheats online but not in classical? So there's the kind of separation there where even though Hans has been caught online and all these players have been caught online, FIDE are like, that's nothing to do with us, that's online cheating, that's nothing to do with our organization and our ratings, you know?
Now, I will say something in defense, in that FIDE would likely have the perspective that a live televised chess tournament has way more general public views than anything that could ever happen online.
True.
And therefore, the World Championship of Chess live is a public event.
Yeah.
And to throw the game into disrepute on that arena is way worse than throwing it into disrepute online.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I think it's like, I guess I'm just saying it's like, is there a reason they can't take that step into the online world, like forum partnerships with chess.com or these? I get it is murky there because it's like these chess.com and these companies are like private corporations, right? They're not like I think FIDE is like a not-for-profit organization, so there's like conflicts of interest there and stuff like that. But I'm saying it's like, I feel like these organizations should be working together to try and stop cheating overall, not just be like, oh, the online cheating, that's over there, that's nothing to do with us. And even though it's the same player, it's like they would never do that over the board, you know? That's just such a weird cognitive dissonance thing, you know? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut in here. We have an entire segment to get through before the deadline. Fair. The chess discussion was very good. The chess discussion was great. I'm sorry to cut it short.
Hopefully people were interested in that, because it's something I've been reading about and talking about, and it's like, and I see most people who are into games have come across this. I mean, The Guardian have reported the vibrating anal bead story, even, you know. So it's like, I think it is.
We do have a couple of comedians in chat as well, but I wanted to highlight a couple of comments. We had one from Pete saying, very good. I regularly blame my vibrating butt plug for my poor MTG performance. And then we had Alan Warnock in the chat as well. Makes sense. I saw Lisa Ann had quite a high ELO. So
ELO, very good. Quite a high electric light orchestra, yeah.
Quite a high electric light orchestra level. Okay, so I mean, shorter actual like discussion podcast part, but that is because we have our first ever quiz show. Everybody get excited.
Oh my god, I love it.
Quiz, let's go. So I've created a quiz for you two fine gentlemen today. It is Magic the Gathering related. Ciaran, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
I'm 10 out of 10. Like I said earlier, I usually play a quiz every day online, and today I had a terrible score. Got one question correct today, so I'm gonna redeem myself. Maybe not, if it depends how much Magic card art is involved though.
Beautiful. There is a lot of Magic the Gathering card art. I'm afraid to inform you, so look forward to that round. Niall, scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
10. I mean, I'm on the podcast. I get to play a quiz. It's the perfect Tuesday night.
Yep. So there is one thing I wanted to run by you guys before we started. I haven't mentioned it at all until now. I've thrown a surprise at you. What stakes are we playing for, guys? What stakes are we playing for? Are we going to have any stakes? There has to be some stakes, right?
I'm not sure what we can play for.
Bet.
Yeah.
Let me think.
The age-old
Or you can
one's
play any-
always the tradition was always a collector boosty, right?
True. Do you ever play any? Are you planning to play any live poker, Kieran?
Yeah, I could be convinced.
Okay, let's say
Let's talk about poll there as well. People can now bet on the quiz winner in the chat.
let's say
brilliant.
that the winner gives the loser 5% of their next tournament for free if it's
Whoa.
over €100, and we'll cap it at 200.
Okay, yeah, I'm in for that.
So between €200, the next
5%.
5% for free.
Okay, let's do it. That's a great prize.
So
Brilliant.
it's worth €5 minimum, right?
Yeah.
It should be worth way more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's do it. That's excellent.
Yeah,
We're both good
that's a great
players.
one, actually. And then the loser of the quiz just never has to play a live poker tournament ever in their lives, and never has to.
Well, that's
No,
a terrible
no.
punishment if you go that way.
The winner just retires from poker and never plays, so they don't have to give away their 5%.
Yeah, exactly. It's so minus EV for me to play a tournament. I could never play one.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Great stuff. Let's do that.
we're going to begin the quiz. Here we are. Here's our beautiful quiz background. We have our first round, which, as any good quiz should start with, we're going to have some general knowledge. So,
Nice.
Love it.
Ciaran, Niall, I'm going to find some kind of randomization device, see who goes first. Let's see. Ciaran, you are going to go first. Are you ready, sir?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Here we go. All right. The first question. When was the first Pro Tour held?
The first Pro Tour. Oh, crap. Okay. So the game came out officially, 93? I'm going to guess it was. See, I've seen these videos of like super, the one on Marshall's channel of like the super old tournament. I don't know if that was a Pro Tour though. I think it's at least 96. And I'm not sure if I've heard one before that. I'm going to guess 1996.
Your guess is 1996?
Yeah.
You are correct. 1996
Yes.
is
Well
the
done.
correct
Nice.
answer. That was
Well
when the
done.
first Pro Tour was held, and it was held in New York.
There you go.
Well done.
So there you go. There we go. So
One sleeve jewels everywhere.
1-0 to Ciaran. Niall,
Nice.
it is time for your
Alright.
question. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm just getting the
Oh, he's getting the
stream up
phone
for
out
the-
so that he can cheat. I see it
Yeah.
already. Here we go. Here we go. Now that there's stakes on the line, you've got to cheat, right? Okay, question 2. Who
I'm
is
just
the
getting my anal
all-time...
beads.
Who is the all-time money leader? So, top of the Pro Tour money leaderboard.
I'm gonna say it's Kaibud.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
It is? Okay. That is incorrect. So, I will offer this to Ciaran for a point. As with all wrong answers that we have in the quiz, I will offer them.
Sure. So I think it's like someone who probably won one of the really big like invitational arena things, but I can't quite remember like who those players are. I'm gonna guess Huey Jensen.
Huey Jensen. That is also incorrect. The correct
Okay.
answer is Paolo Vitor Damo-de-Rosa.
Oh, so
okay.
obvious.
Yeah.
So obvious.
He is the only player to have won more than $1 million on the Pro Tour. I think it was 1,073,000, something like that.
Nice.
I play them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, overthought that one a little. I can see where you're coming from though, Ciaran. That's where
I mean,
my
Huey
mind probably would
even
have
won
went.
those arena things. I don't even know.
Yeah, because I think Brian, I believe Brian Braun Doon won hundreds of thousands of dollars, like a large amount of money as well at one point. He was kind
World champion DBD.
Yeah. All right, Ciaran, we're back to you for question 3.
Okay.
One of these is a fake keyword. Which is it?
Ooh.
Meld, prowl, rebuild, or renown? Talk about this
Is
one
it-
for a while because I have disguised it so well that I can't actually remember what the answer is myself.
Unless this is a trick question and like keyword means something other than I think it does, it's not meld. So it's not meld, and it's not whatever the last one was, renown. So it's either prowl or rebuild. I don't know. I think I was gonna say rebuild, but then for prowl now I think I was thinking of skulk. So I'm gonna guess it's prowl.
You have guessed Prowl. Ciaran, you're incorrect.
Oh no.
Niall, would you like
I
to have a go?
suppose I'll pick the other one. I'll pick build. I actively remember Prowl and Renown. I don't remember Meld, but Kieran seemed pretty confident that it was.
Meld was the one where you could put the two angels together. Remember that and form a big angel.
I don't
Grisella.
actually don't.
It was from like Shadows over Innistrad, and there was like you
I
could
don't think I was
physically-
playing.
you put the two cards together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say rebuild then.
Niall, you're on the board. The correct answer
gave it
was,
away, I'm
in
a
fact,
fool.
rebuild.
Okay.
So, maybe a lesson learned for Ciaran there, talking out your answers when it's going to be handed over to the other player.
You took out the answers. You literally told me to.
Yeah, okay, sorry, my bad. So, yeah, you're correct. Meld was, in fact, where you meld the two big angels together. Prowl, don't remember what Prowl does, but it is a real keyword, I promise you. And
Something to do with being unblockable, probably by certain things. Yeah,
Something around that. Something to do with blocking.
yeah.
And then Renown is the +1 counter if it hits you.
Yeah.
From Magic Origins, I
Classic
believe.
2/2 for 2 from Magic Origins was broken. I remember because it
Oh,
became
yeah,
a
the
3/3.
white.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Prowl, a player can cast a card for its Prowl cost if the player controls a creature of the same type which dealt damage to a player that turn. Most cards.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Pretty different.
There we go.
Alright, fine.
So, Niall, you're on the board, and now you have the question as well. So, you'll be glad to know. Same again. One of these is a fake keyword. Which is it?
Okay.
A. Immolate. B. Fortify. C. Devour. D. Amplify.
It's the first one.
First one? You
Yeah.
are correct. It is in fact Immolates. Do you know what the other ones do?
Amplify is some sort of spell thing. Devour is you sacrifice a creature towards the mana cost, I believe. And Fortify is something to do with combat.
Fortify something to do with. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Fortify was equipment for lands. It would only ever saw. It only ever got printed on one card, Darksteel Garrison from Future Sight.
Okay.
And it made the land indestructible. Devour. As a creature with Devour enters battlefield, its controller may sacrifice any number of creatures in order to put X +1/+1 counters on the devouring creature for each creature sacrificed. Pretty terrible keyword. And then, yeah, you got Amplify right as well. So, all right. So, Niall, you're in the lead. How's it feel?
Right. Feels great.
Feels great. All right, Ciaran. Next question we have for you. What set introduced equipment?
Mirrodin?
Correct. The correct answer is, in fact, Mirrodin.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it was also... was it? I think it was the second set that introduced the new border as well. I think it went 8th edition, and then Mirrodin was like the first like expert level set that
That's
had the
right.
new border.
Right.
That's right.
Fun little fact as well.
Cool.
So, Ciaran, you're all tied. Niall, we're back to you. 3 cards are currently banned in Vintage, excluding Conspiracy, Anti, and Insensitive cards. Can you name them? 1 point for each.
So excluding conspiracy, anti, and
like,
Insensitive cards, like racially insensitive
Insensitive.
cards.
okay,
Yeah,
sure.
the ones where they banned the. Yeah.
Chaos Orb,
Correct.
number 1. Do you have to name all 3?
You don't have to. You have 1 point in the bag.
Okay.
The others though.
Did the others get me a point each?
A point each, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
What? This is outrageous.
It's
To be fair, I didn't expect any more than 1 to be gotten. It will go over to you, Ciaran.
I know one.
You know 1.
I know what the other 2 do. I just don't know the names of them. I'm going to say Rushing River.
No, I think that's legal. It just has crazy oracle text. Scheherazade is one.
Scheherazade is 1.
Scheherazade is one. That's the one.
Yeah, I don't know the third one. I don't think.
The third one was Falling Star.
It's
That one.
similar to
It's
Chaos
another-
Orb.
It's another dexterity one, is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So
Charizard's the game under the table.
game under the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be under the table. The version is under the table.
Yeah. Okay, it was that.
All right.
Very good.
You
Do we
play
get
a
a point each
game,
for that?
The
Point each,
loser
point
of the
each.
game loses half their life total.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty broken.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You can also deck people with it pretty good
Yeah.
because they just lose half their library.
Funny.
Okay, so penultimate question, final question for you, Ciaran, unless one gets past
Okay.
you. 2 white cards are currently on the modern banned list. Can you name them?
Second Sunrise is one.
That is correct. You get one
And the
1 point, and you'll get the full 3 if you can name the other one.
Oh, okay. Another white card.
Niall, do you have any ideas?
I'll have to
An
pass.
idea.
Yeah, I pass. I don't know.
We pass?
Is
Okay.
it small? Is it small to fairy? three fairy?
Incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect. Okay, so you were thinking along the right lines. It was a multicolored card.
Mm.
Does that ring any bells for you, Ciaran?
I
A multicolored
mean,
white card?
I don't think so.
Okay, you might kick yourself then. Luris of the Dream Den.
Oh, obviously.
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
One of
Yeah,
the most
yeah,
broken
yeah.
cards of all time.
Yeah.
Luris
Yeah.
of the Dream Den was the other
I
white card.
think I got the much harder one.
You did.
Instantly.
Yeah, Second Sunrise is the
You
one I
did.
didn't really expect people to get, and that's why you
Yeah.
were getting the full 3 points. But nope, you got 1 point for Second Sunrise, and
Alright,
did
I'll
not
take
get Luris of the Dream Den. So
Oh, can I make an addition to this quiz?
okay,
Audience, you're allowed to write your answers in chat, and me and Kieran promise not to look at the chat.
of course,
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Far
yeah.
away. Like far
Absolutely.
away. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put all the answers in the chat you like. Feel free to call Ciaran stupid. Feel free to call Niall stupid. Do not make any comments about your glorious quiz host though, because you will get banned quicker than you have ever seen in your life.
Quicker than
Last
Second
one.
Sunrise got banned in Modern. Which I
Quicker
don't
than
know how
Second
quick that
Sunrise
was.
got banned in Modern. Very good. All right. Last question of the general knowledge round. Niall,
Yep.
The Gathering was a rap group famously containing Pat Chapin. One of their songs was Jace the Mind Sculptor. Can you name another?
So I know it was Jace the Mind Sculptor better than all, or something like that. That was the lyric.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one you're not allowed to name.
I can name 2.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Pressure.
Wow. I don't know.
Wanna have a
I don't
guess?
know. So I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Deck You.
Deck You. That's a good
Pretty
guess.
good rap song.
That's a good
That's-
guess.
yeah, that's
they
a very
probably
good
know
guess.
songs than we realized too. So
Incorrect, however. I do apologize. Ciaran, do you want to take us home?
yeah. So one is Still Had All D's, and the second one is The Storm. That I know.
Correct. You only get 1 point though, but
Yeah, that's fair.
brownie points for being
That's
able to name
honestly
another
embarrassing that I know 3 of their song titles.
one. Yeah. The
A storm comes over me. It's such a bad song.
still had all
You should
these
put that in
plays
your
my
band,
head.
in your magic-related metal band now. It's so terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. Still had all these still plays in my head sometimes. Like whenever if I've just played a game with my opponents and they do that where they're like, oh yeah, you know, I could have killed you this and I could
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
does play in the back of my head like still had all these.
I only ever do that when people are like, "Oh, I just needed one more removal spell," and I'm like, "No, I actually had 3 counter spells in that." So just to really rub it in.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the first round. Ciaran, you have 5 points. Niall, you have 3.
Nice.
Very good. I was hoping that some of those questions weren't too hard, weren't too easy. I think we had a sweet
No, I
spot
think
there.
that's a good level. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's time to test kind of like how good you guys are as Magic the Gathering players. Because
Oh.
the next round is where we compare 17 lands data and play higher or lower. So
Okay.
we're going to start off with 0.0, obviously. And then I'm going to show you a card. For example, here we have Astor, Bearer of Blades. I would go to you, Niall, and say, is Astor Bearer of Blades higher or lower than 0? And the thing we're measuring against, the metric we're measuring this against, is improvement in win percentage when drawn. So, how much better or worse, or how much more chance do you have of winning a game or losing a game based on drawing this card? So, is that percentage higher or lower? So this is an example. Astor Bearer of Blades. So Niall, do you think this is higher or lower?
Okay, can I ask for fairness? I've never looked at any of this type of data. So give me an example of a very good card.
Yeah, what's like the range we're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Wingmantle Chaplain is 13%.
Well, and that's like one of the best cards in the set now.
Yeah,
if you
and that's one of the best cards in the set. And one of the worst cards in the set, I believe, is Vanquisher's Axe, which is like -8%.
Okay.
Oh, it can go negative too.
Yeah, it can go negative.
Because you're less likely to win the game when you draw that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
And you're 13% more likely to win the game when you draw a Wingmantle Chaplain.
Yeah.
Okay. So am I answering for this card?
Yes, this is just an example though, so...
okay, sure.
So you won't...
So I'm going to...
I can't even see
it's just an example one. Yeah. Is it a 3/3, I think?
It's... yeah, okay. My bad.
That adds a wrinkle to the quiz. You don't get to find out the stats on the creature.
I'm going to say it's negative.
10, it's pretty good.
I'm going to say it's negative anyway. He's like -5 or something. But...
Yeah,
it's
he is
pretty
a 4/4
bad,
there. We've brought it up
It's
there. He is a
4/4.
4/4. So you think it's lower?
I think it's still -0.
Yeah. Okay. So because this was an example, it's a trick question. This is 0. So there you go. So
this is an example of an absolutely average card.
Absolutely average.
Okay.
Like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So there we go.
I like it.
The bars have been set. So we will stay with you, Niall. Then we have Artillery Blast. All right. Do you think this is higher or lower than 0%?
Do you want to read the text on Artillery
Yes,
Blast?
read the text
for me?
for the audio listeners.
Yep.
Well, you can look at the stream if you just cover the chat, Niall, as well.
No, I got it. So it's
one. It's small, yeah.
So I'm literally like 10 seconds behind. It's one and a white. Domain Artillery Blast deals X damage to target tapped creature, where X is 1 plus the number of basic land types among lands you control. I actively think this is a decent card. I think this is a C, so I'm going to give it a plus.
So you think this is greater than 0%?
Greater than 0%, yeah.
Okay, obviously we're not going to hand this over to the opponent when you get it wrong, because it is 50-50. Incorrect. Okay. Artillery Blast is -0.7%.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's going to be a few of these
2%.
cards. It's actually like a little bit of Lauden thinks here as well, because you have to think about like the players that are playing with these cards, like how they're playing with them. Are they playing them in the right decks?
Yes.
So
well? Okay.
Because I think this card is better than the last card, but it does have a lower win percentage. So we're at -0.7. Ciaran, the next one is for you. Finding the third path. Higher or lower than 0.7%?
I mean, considering how much shit we talked on this card previously, I think I have to quit Magic if I'm wrong as well. But I'm going to guess a little lower than 0%. It's actively bad.
Lower than 0.7%, yeah.
Oh, then the last one.
Then the last one,
yeah. I'll say it's worse than that. Yeah.
Okay.
You're correct. This is -4.9%.
Nice.
This card is bad, and I wanted to throw it in here to prove it as well. This card is bad.
Yeah.
So we're back to you then, Niall.
Okay.
Herloon Battle Hymn. I'll read the text as well for the audio listeners.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Just to make sure that we all know what these cards do, so they can play along.
Yeah.
Herloon Battle Hymn is 2 and a red instant with kicker white. Herloon Battle Hymn deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell was kicked, you gain 4 life. Higher or lower than -4.9%?
It's definitely higher, and I think it's higher than 0. Easily.
You don't get bonus points for saying it's higher than 0, but it is 2.2%. Correct.
Well,
so
that's lower than I would have thought. It is a good removal spell.
It is still lower than I would have thought. You're right.
Yeah.
But Niall, you've got a point on the board. Congratulations. Yeah. So we are at 2.2 now. Urborg Repossession. Single black sorcery with kicker colorless in the green. Ciaran, this is for you. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. You gain 2 life. If this spell was kicked, return another target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Higher or lower than 2.2.
So, like, I think the floor on this card is worse, but also I'm like, wouldn't you only put this in your deck if it's good in your deck?
Yeah. Oh.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say higher than 2.2% based on that.
That's how you play this game. It is higher. It is
Wow.
3.8%.
It's what?
3.8.
3.8. Nice. Yeah.
So going back to, giving you some context now, like some of the most busted commons in every set sit around like 6%.
Okay. Sure.
So Urborg
That's
Repossession is
really
right up there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever played that card in my deck.
Oh, this card is so good.
Yeah, it's quite good.
So good.
I think.
Next we have Destroy Evil. 1 in a white instant. Choose one. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. Niall, this one is for you.
I am going to say that this is lower. Again, I tend to draft this card more than the reanimation spell, and I tend to play it in most white decks, but I think people probably play it too often and incorrectly, and therefore I'm going to say it's lower.
I like that. Yeah.
You are correct. I like your reasoning as well. It is 2.6%. This card was way higher than I thought it would be. Because I've never been like super impressed with this card whenever I've played it, but I remember I've been watching some LSV draft videos lately. He's really high on this card. Maybe it's something that I should have been playing a little bit more of when in my draft decks. But yeah,
I think I play one in every white deck.
Yeah,
and hold it forever to kill the big thing, basically.
All right, Ciaran, back to you. Phyrexian Rager, 2 in a black. When Phyrexian Rager enters the battlefield, you'll draw a card and you lose 1 life, and it is a 2/2.
And what's it? We're at 2.
We're at 2.6.
2.6.
Yeah.
I'll say this is better than 2.6. Just feel like it has to be.
Okay, so I didn't anticipate this happening, but the data has changed since yesterday.
Oh wow, that's mad. They saved so much data. How could it have swung?
Did not anticipate this. We're probably going to have to give a pass on this because it is actually exactly the same as Destroy Evil now. It was lower yesterday, and that's why I picked this card, because I thought that, Phyrexian Rager, I feel like that card's definitely better than Destroy Evil. It was 2.4 or 2.5 yesterday, but enough games have been played since that it is exactly equal with Destroy Evil.
People are getting better at the format. They're realizing the correct decks to put this card in, so it's going up.
Fair.
Okay, that's really weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird because like I feel like it's not hard to go wrong with this card, right? Like it is just really good no matter what you do, right? Like you can't be playing this card wrong. All you have to do is cast it.
Yeah.
So
we could give Ciaran another one then.
Okay, we'll give Ciaran another one.
Yeah.
Talus Lookout. Let me just make sure that this one hasn't also done something weird.
Okay, so we're still on 2.6.
Still on 2.6. So Talus Lookout is 2 colorless, blue. Flying. When Talus Lookout dies, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hands and the other into your graveyard, and it is a 3/2.
Yeah, I'm going to say, again, it is better than 2.6.
Better than 2.6.
Yeah,
Niall, would you agree with that?
Totally agree. You actually put this in fewer decks, but the decks it goes in, it has to be better than Phyrexian Rager, right?
Okay, you're wrong. This is lower than 2.6. Not by much. It is 2%. So
are people putting it in the wrong decks? I mean,
so I think this I think it's kind of that, like, the base blue decks that you kind of want to play this in. Like blue black is very good, but
all blue white too. Yeah.
You don't. I feel like maybe people are shoehorning this into like their domain decks, and the double blue is maybe screwing them. That's what I mean. Is probably what's happening.
It's pretty slow in those decks too.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, all right, Niall, we're at 2% then. over to you. Captain's Call. 3 and a white creates 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens.
Yeah, I think this is definitely lower than 2%. I think it's not a bad card, but people are playing this way too much.
You are correct. Yeah, I think that analysis is pretty spot on. There are some good tokens decks out there, but I think what's happening with this card is that people are playing it in the wrong decks. Yeah. It's meant to be played in your green-white tokens deck. Green, white, and black-white pretty much exclusively, but the losses probably come from people shoehorning it into their domain decks.
Yep.
So
red, white tokens isn't bad either.
Yeah. So minus 0.4% for Captain's Call.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Back to you, Ciaran. This is the last one. Keldon Strike Team. 2 and a red with kicker 1 and a white. When Keldon's Strike Team enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. As long as Keldon's Strike Team enter the battlefield this turn, creatures you control have haste. Higher or lower than 0.4%.
I think this card's like pretty bad. I think by the time that you can cast it with kicker, you probably already just want to cast your inspired charge, whatever it's called, and try and win the game. I'm gonna say it's worse than 0. Whatever.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I think people have cottoned on to the fact that this card goes in a deck.
Yeah.
Every time someone casts it against me, I die.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So I think it's like plus 0.1% or something. I don't know.
Oh, Niall, you're not far off. So it's plus 0.6.
Damn, okay.
I think the analysis is spot on from Niall there. Like, it's so much harder to get this
to actually
one
cast
wrong.
it. Yeah.
Not even just cast it. To, like, get this one
Well,
wrong.
this is
like,
when
you're not
drawn.
putting this in your domain decks.
Yeah.
Like, you look at it and like, okay, this doesn't go here. People aren't tricked into thinking this is a good card outside of that one deck where people
Exactly right.
So
yeah,
it's a very close though. It's like within 0.5% of the previous card, right? So yeah.
It is close, but those percentages matter.
I don't think they do when it's 0.5%.
All right, so that ends our Dominaria United. That's what the name of this most recent set is called. But we have one more for Ciaran. You might be at a little bit of a disadvantage here because the next one is Champions, or not Champions. It's Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
Oh yeah, I didn't really play this, but it's a cool set. All right.
So Niall, this is your
I
round.
should be good at this.
But we'll start with Ciaran on this. Voltage Surge. Is this higher or lower than 0%?
Okay, I think it's higher than 0%. I think I've got an easy one there.
All right, okay. It is in fact higher than 0%. Would you believe? But if I can get the exact number up here, it's not as high as you're going to think. It's 0.8% for Voltage Surge.
Wow, that is weak. Standard staple.
Yeah, standard staple.
Yeah.
I was always impressed with Voltage Surge. Whenever I cast it, but maybe shocks just don't go the same distance as they used to. Because I know we have the pseudo shock in Dominaria, the Flowstone Infusion, I think it's called. And like it's fine.
I think it was more that again we're going back to the same old story. I think people were like playing this in every single deck they could play it in when there were like some green white decks or green red decks or whatever. You just do not care about this at all. They just want to like slam beside you for Shelter's All or something,
True. That's a good point. Okay, so the next card then, Niall, Iron Hoof Boar, higher or lower than 0.8%?
When drawn.
When drawn, yeah. So you're I thought a second one for this would be good because you're getting the idea now.
Again, this is worse than Voltage Surge. It is. Right? But people play it way less often. Way less often. And I think towards the end of the format, you could like wheel this and everything like that. So this might be like one of those tricky ones where like people put 1 in a red deck, and that's actually the right number. It's a tricky one. I'm still going to say it's lower though.
You got there in the end, yeah. It is lower.
Yeah, it has to be. Like,
yeah.
It has to be.
You came to the right conclusion in the end. It is 0.2% for Iron Hoof Boar. Sure. I thought I'd throw this one in, because Voltage Surge, like, I could conceivably believe for the reasons you outlined, Niall, that this is higher than 0.8.
Mhm.
So
Like you're supposed to play it like 1 in every 10 drafts, one time, like one copy or something.
yeah.
You know.
Okay, Ciaran. 0.2% is the number. Careful cultivation. 2 and a green. Enchantment aura, artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+3 and has reach and tap adds double green. You can also channel it for 1 and a green and discard careful cultivation. Create a 1/1 green human monk creature token with tap, add a green mana. Higher or lower than 0.2%.
I mean, it seems pretty bad. I suppose the channel isn't too bad. I know like artifacts or enchantments like matter in the format. I don't know if I've ever seen this card before, to be honest.
This
Yeah, I
does
know
seem,
they're
I believe this is seen play in like the Transmogrify decks because it creates a
sure.
token.
Yeah. It gives reach as well, which is probably pretty good for a ramp deck. Was it 0.2 or 0.1?
We are at 0.2. I'll help you out a little here as well, seeing as you never played the format. There weren't really ramp decks in this format, from what I remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got versatility. I'm gonna say it's like it's better somehow. I'm gonna go it's better.
Okay, wrong.
I agree.
It is
We're
minus
wrong.
0.3,
Okay.
so it's still pretty close. But I do think this
Yeah.
card is still worse than Ironhoof Boar. I think this one could still be pieced together. Ironhoof Boar. I think Ironhoof Boar was a very solid card, whereas I basically never played this card. So I was surprised that this one was even as high as it was, to be honest.
Yeah. I only played this card like very specific setups, like where you've got like 3 Besage shelters all or something stupid. Whereas like playing them on turn 3 is busted.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Alright, so we are at minus 0.3%. The next card is Favor of Jukai, Niall. 3 and a green for another aura, artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +3/+3 and has reach. And channel, discard Favor of Jukai. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains reach until end of turn.
Yeah, I think this card is much worse than the elf. But again, I think the population understood that. But I'll tell you, I'm gonna say it's lower. I'm not gonna give the population enough credit. I'll say it's lower than the elf.
Okay, no, this one's higher. This one's higher than Voltage Surge, which really surprised me. It's 1.5. And honestly, I couldn't tell you why. I'm just trying to trick you at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, don't understand this. Like, the channel ability is fine, but like the front sides, quote unquote front side, just seems really bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is another card that I basically never played, and very surprised that it's got as high win rate as it does, to be honest. So we're at 1.5%. Ciaran, Kami of Terrible Secrets, 3 and a black. When Kami of Terrible Secrets enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, you draw a card and you gain a life.
Okay, like again, like you would only play this in like a very certain deck, I guess. So I'm hoping people don't play it otherwise. So I'll say it's better.
Yep, you're right. It is better.
This card was great.
This card was great.
Okay,
yeah.
nice.
It was very easy to have an artifact and an enchantment in play, and even then, like a 4-mana 3/4, not the end of the world. 2.1% for Kami of Terrible Secrets.
Nice.
I really liked this one. And there are some really, really valuable enchantments and stuff to pick up. Like there's an aura that's a murder basically for 4 mana.
Right.
4 mana
Okay.
murder.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
You could pick that kind of stuff up, and it was great. All right, Niall, Spirited's Companion. 1 and a white. When Spirited Companion enters battlefield, draw a card, and it is a 1/1, and it is an enchantment creature.
Yeah, this is going to be higher than the 3/4. Like this card is maybe the best white common. I'm not too sure, but like you can play it in any deck, and it's going to be great.
Correct.
Higher.
Yeah, higher is in fact correct. So 5.7% for Spirited Companion.
Wow, that's enormous. Wow.
Yeah. Spirited Companion was really, really good. There again, like being an enchantment creature is so relevant in this format, and being an enchantment creature that like replaced itself, and was cheap. Yeah, just really, really good card. And finally, Ciaran, Imperial Oath. 5 and a white. Creates 3 2/2 white samurai creature tokens with vigilance. Scry 3.
I mean, that seems like pretty good, but I can't imagine it's better than the Spirited Companion, so I'll say it has to be lower.
Niall, what do you think?
Oh, I buried the lead, calling it the best Spirit Companion, the best white common, when
You tricked me.
the Oath is the best white common.
Wow, okay,
And
damn.
not only the best white common, the best common, because you can just splash it in every single deck.
Yeah.
It's a single white.
Wow, okay, nice.
But it might be lower. I'm not too sure. But I'm gonna say it's higher. But...
It is higher. Imperial Oath is the best common in Kamigawa by win rate. It is 6.6%. Which I believe
just a 6-drop is the best common. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
And
it's because it was essentially a splashable. It was a zero-colored card, was it?
Right.
Yeah. It was an artifact. You know,
any
deck can play it.
All the shit that Inspiring Overseer got, I think Inspiring Overseer has a win rate of 6.2%. So Imperial Oath had a higher win percentage than Inspiring Overseer, which everybody's like, oh, I'm so sick of playing against Inspiring Overseer all the time. I mean, here's Imperial Oath, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, fair.
Oh, we do have one more. So actually no, we're just gonna call it there. We already talked about how this was the best common in the set, so I think it's pretty easy to
go lower. Yeah.
But Network Disruptor was a very good card. I think it's up in like the 4 or 5% win rates as well.
Wow.
Again, being artifact,
very good.
Being a cheap artifact creature was very relevant. Having evasion was very relevant for ninjutsu.
Interesting.
So
cool. Yeah.
Cool. So after that round, it's so tight. Ciaran is in the lead with 9 points. Niall, you're just behind with 8 points.
Fair enough.
So close. So close. But
exciting.
Plenty of time to come back. We've still got a couple of rounds left, so that 5% could still be yours. For anybody that's just joined us, there are some stakes on this quiz regarding poker tournaments and giving back 5% of winnings. I mean, obviously, you guys are just going to win millions at some poker tournaments in the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like Kieran's going to be
both millionaires.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Love it. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So, next round, we have the artwork rounds. Ciaran, you've been looking forward to this round so much.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
And it is a little bit small here. I will zoom in for you guys, but we'll start with you this time, Niall.
Okay, I'm a few seconds behind, so hopefully this works okay.
That's fine. So, Niall, what is this card? It's as simple as that. What is this card?
I can see it. Perfect.
All answers worth 1 point.
Okay, is that...
Oh, it's tense. Oh, it's tense.
Is it Gataxian Probe? No. Okay.
Ciaran, you're up.
It's Phyrexian on life.
That is the right answer. I believe you're in the right set now. You know, which is pretty impressive. But no, Phyrexian on life is in fact the card that we were looking for, and there it is, Phyrexian on life.
Nice.
Great art.
Great art.
Yeah.
Ciaran, this one's for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, oh man, is this from like an onset or something? So for those who are audio only, I'm looking at a big dragon with a bunny sitting on its tail or back, and the dragon is seems to be attacking 3 humans with spears. I have no idea what this card is. I'm gonna pass. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I think it's from Ice Age or something like that, and I'm gonna say it's something like. I don't know. Kajoran.
No. I'll stop you there. Niall, you were closer. It is just a really old card. It's Illusions of Grandeur. formed one of the
of course.
one of the
Ah,
most
the
like,
bunny. Okay. Yeah.
one of the most early broken combos in Magic with this card
Donate.
and Donate. Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, Illusionist Grandeur was a 4-mana enchantment with cumulative upkeep 2. So you had to pay 2 in your upkeep and then 2 more every other subsequent upkeep. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 20 life. When it leaves the battlefield, you lose 20 life. So the idea was you gave it to your opponent, they couldn't pay the upkeep, and they died. So,
Yeah, they lost 20 life, and in the meantime, you would gain 20. Pretty sweet.
yeah, pretty sweet. But probably wouldn't work nowadays. In fact, it definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
All right, this one's for you, Niall. You might have gotten the short end of the stick here because I'm not actually sure you were playing when this card.
My own fault.
So yeah, it is your own fault, really. You should have seen this coming.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll be a couple of seconds before I get the art here on my screen, but I've got it.
Can you describe what you're seeing?
Yeah, I can see it now.
For the audio listeners, can you describe what it looks like?
So we can see some sort of undead warrior in a chapel or a church. Kind of not spoiling. It's from like Shadowmer or something. I think
Wait, are you telling me you don't know the lore on that stained glass window? Come on.
It's Avacyn. So is it Avacyn's Restored?
I mean, that's the name of a set, yeah. You've named a set of Magic the Gathering.
Avacyn's Undead?
Not the quiz. No, I'll pass it over. Ciaran?
Okay.
I don't think I know the card either. So yeah, there's some kind of zombie in front of like a Avacyn stained glass window, and there's a load of zombies coming in through the window. Oh, is this like, does it generate zombies or something?
I think so.
I think it's like I think it's like a black enchantment that like makes a zombie every upkeep or something, but I don't know the name. I have to pass as well.
Nope. So this was Relentless Dead.
Oh yes, it was a mythic.
Yeah.
Black for a 2/2.
Included this one because this is the card I won nationals with.
Very nice.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Just
super hyped up card. I remember.
Yeah. It was quite expensive. I remember. Pete, DJ wrecked me with this card when I first started playing. Glad I could leave that memory with you, Pete. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, nice memories for me with this one. I've been tempted to pick up, like, if I could find that 75 that I played nationals with that day. I'm pretty sure I would just buy it just to have. I think that would be pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So that one was for Niall. So Ciaran.
Those things are still a tenner, by the way.
Are they still a
Just
tenner?
checked.
No. I won't be doing that then.
Yeah.
So Ciaran, next card is for you. Can you describe what you're seeing?
It's a big red dragon breathing fire in profile. I'm guessing this is some kind of fireball effect and not an actual dragon creature, but I don't know what it is. I'm gonna guess this is Rolling Thunder.
Niall, you're up.
Firebolt.
Correct. We have our first correct answer of Guess the Artwork. It is Firebolt. Well done, Niall.
I've
that is a
played
point
with
for you.
Firebolt too. I'm in Cube and stuff many times. So yeah. Damn it.
And we're over to you, Niall.
Reach out and torch someone is the flavor text. Very good flavor text.
Very good flavor text. We have some artwork for you. Can you describe what you're seeing?
I will be able to in a moment.
Yep.
I'm sure. Okay. We've got an elf that is drowning in a wave. And it's very kind of invasion era art. I'm going to say it... I can describe what the card does as well.
If you can describe what it does for me, I'll take it.
Okay. Is there eternal green creatures to the runer's hands?
Ciaran, you're up.
This is Submerge. And I know this because this is tech against Dark Depths in Legacy. It says, if your opponent controls a swamp, you can play it for free, or you have to control a forest or something, and then your opponent controls a swamp, you can play for free, and it's a bouncer creature.
That was a nice little diatribe, Ciaran, but you're wrong. Nah,
Is it Submerge?
I'm just kidding. It's Submerge.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 5-mana instant. If an opponent controls a forest, you control
It's a
an
forest,
island,
not a swamp. Okay.
you may play Submerge without paying its mana cost. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. So yeah,
Nice.
it was. I believe it saw legacy play back in the day, and as you say, it's a
Still
great
does,
way
I
to
think.
get rid of Mark.
It was prophecy. I was close. It was
Prophecy. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
Whenever you said that, I was like, yep, you're close.
Yeah.
I should have known it was a forest. It's obvious, yeah, it's like it's an elf, obviously. But yeah, this is usually is against Dark Depth combo because that's usually black green.
Ciaran, you're up. What is this card? It's starting to get tougher now.
Is that I'm not sure. I think it's just like a basic like 1/4 turtle, but I can't remember the name. It's not it. It's too old for the art to do this, but I'll guess Thriving Turtle. I don't think it is Thriving Turtle.
Incorrect, Niall.
Damn it.
The thing is, I know what this card is. It was a limited powerhouse. It was 1 blue for a 1/4, and you can pay a blue to do something with it. Give it +1, -1, or what was it?
And yeah, for those audio listeners, we're looking at a turtle with spikes on its
Standard turtle.
Yeah.
Was it
It's a spiky
calcite? I'm gonna guess it. Calcite turtle.
Calcite Snapper.
That's what it is.
Is that it? I think neither. of us get it.
How do you feel about giving it to him, Ciaran?
Yeah, we can give it to him. He got
can give it to him?
calcite.
Yeah.
That's the important
It's
bit.
calcite. Yeah, he got calcite.
Yeah.
So calcite's
And what was the text?
The text was landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, you may switch its parts.
Oh,
off this
right.
land.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
card was really, really good.
Yeah, Shrine as well. Oof.
Carter was very good in that limited format, and I
It's from
remember
World
people
of-
said this was the answer to Jund because it could block Bloodbraid Elf and you couldn't remove it.
Yes,
as the Jund
I
player.
remember that.
Try.
Also, the funny part is, I immediately thought of Hedron Crab, which is from World Wake and has landfall. But then I was like, no, it's a turtle. It can't. It's not Hedron Crab. So I got the set somehow in my subconscious.
Sure.
Alright, so we are back to you, Niall.
Okay.
Just remember to describe the art whenever you can see it.
Will do.
I'm not sure if anybody's got it right on their go yet. I think it's always been passed over so far.
It has been.
I think so. Yeah. This is wild. This looks like Metroid, or like this looks like a SNES game box cover.
This art is great.
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
this is 3 in a black. Look at target player's hand. Pick a card from their hand. Search their deck for any copies of those cards and remove them from the game.
It's close enough. I'll allow it. Cranial extraction.
Cranial
You name a
It's
card
just name a
before you look
card,
at the
isn't
hand,
it? Yeah.
But
Let's name a card.
close enough.
From
yeah.
Kamigawa. Yeah, this was worth like $50 or whatever when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember what people used to name with this.
I think when this came out, people were like, "This card is unbeatable." They just thought you could just put it in every deck and just name.
Yeah, everybody just put
all
4 of this in their main
conditions.
deck and just.
I
Yeah.
mean, guys, you're getting beat up by like basket root wall and wild mongrel.
yeah.
Like,
'cause, yeah,
I remove all your wild mongrels. Like, great, you're on
Remember,
fire.
wasn't it? I think like Tooth and Nail was popular at the time and stuff, right?
Sure.
It was still an
Yeah,
era
yeah.
of Magic as well, where we weren't too far removed from Jester's Cap, and people thought Jester's Cap was like the best card ever printed. So they saw Cranial Extraction and lost their minds.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This one,
Nice.
I'm tempted to offer 2 points for this one because I don't think anybody's going to get it. There's going to be a if Alan Warnock is still in chat, he's probably jumping up and down. But Ciaran,
I'll tell you,
Okay.
let's just fair right. Put 2 points for the main answer and 1 point for a pass.
sure.
Let's do it that way.
Alan is still in chat and he has said, "Oh baby."
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. It looks like they're raiding a tomb. I don't even know what creature type that is on the left.
It looks like a
It's got some gold-plated armor. Looks kind of orcish.
what is it? Kind of orky, but
But that looks
Yeah.
more like a goblin beside him, but it's not. It's not a goblin. I don't really know what this is. Is this like I'm gonna guess like Nezumi Grave Robber.
Incorrect. Niall, do you have any idea?
This is an enchantment for a single white, and it's something to do with equipment. It gets counters put on it, and whenever a counter is put on it, you can sacrifice it to go get
He's
the
done
equipment.
it. He's done it. It's Quest for
Is
the
that what
Holy
it is?
Relic. Yep.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Quest for the Holy Relic. So Alan played this one quite successfully at a GP. I
He did.
remember.
He did. Yeah.
And
Nice.
yeah, you're pretty much spot on. It's to do with equipment. You put counters on it whenever you cast a creature spell, and whenever you have 5 quest counters on it, you can sacrifice it. It was Hammer Time before Hammer Time was cool.
That was it.
Nice.
So yeah, very very nice, Niall. So a point for the steal,
Thank you.
and this one's for you then Niall.
Thanks.
So we're going with 2 points. This one's worth 2 points if you get it.
I've never seen this. This is hilarious.
It's funny because you say you've never seen it, but you're bound to know the card.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
This is Engineer Plague.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we forgot to do the audio thing again, but we're
I'm
looking
so
at like
sorry.
a lizard in the middle. No, that's my fault. I should have reminded. But there's like a lizard in the middle, and there's some beat up goblins on either side, and they're all tied up with rope. And it is in fact Engineer Plague.
That's really terrible art.
2 and a black for enchantment. Name a creature type, and the creature type gets -1/-1.
Fantastic card, obviously. You name Murfolk, you get rid of those true name nemesis, you know?
Yep. To go.
All right, Ciaran, this is the last one of the round. You'll be
Okay.
glad to know.
Okay.
What is this card? I will give you a hint. It is not a basic land.
It's not a basic land. Is it a land?
I can't say that. I won't go that
Okay.
far. It is not.
Okay.
It is not a basic land. Alan reminding us that Argentum armor was the usual tutor target back then. That is correct. Argentum armor being not as equivalent as the hammer today, because I think Argentum armor only gave like +6/+6. But
What is this card?
I haven't.
This
chosen
looks
obscure cards, by the way.
familiar.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. So yeah, for the listeners, we're looking at a sort of lovely meadow full of sunflowers. Got a couple trees. It just looks very nice in sort of a semi-impressionist style, I would say. It looks like it could be a Manet painting or something like that.
Yeah, it does look very artistic.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna say it's Cultivate.
Niall, over to you.
What a weird piece of art for something that isn't a basic land.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a green or white enchantment like Solemnity or Serenity, something like that.
Oh,
Incorrect. All right. So
No.
I
the
think you're
answer
right though.
was Summer Bloom.
Summer Bloom. Man, I
Summer
even
Bloom.
said Second Sunrise earlier. I even named the other half of the combo. Or the other half of the
Yeah.
Or were they even in the same deck? No, this was in the Amulet deck.
This is in the Amulet deck. Yeah, but
Also banned in
also
Modern.
on the ban list.
Fuck. I could have maybe gotten that one. Nah, I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the modern printing of this card used this art. I think it looked kind of similar, but it was
Oh.
slightly updated. I can't say that for sure though. It might even
Right,
be the same
okay.
art. Not 100%. But that brings us to the end of Guess the Artwork, and there's been a change in the leaderboard. Ciaran, you have 11 points. Niall, you have 14.
Disaster. Artwork round did not work out.
Got that change in at the right time to the pointing system, so that you could get Engineer Plague for 2 points. So
Very
well
nice,
done,
yeah.
well done. Game the system.
Very nice.
I appreciate it. So that's the end of round 3. We have 2 rounds left.
Okay.
My
okay.
God.
Penultimate round.
It's
Can I
just
go
a
to the
little
toilet? I'm actually serious. Can I go to the
Sorry.
toilet?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go.
I'll be right back.
Speaker. You're so terrified. Love it.
The last round shouldn't take that long. I don't think this round will even take that long. But,
Cool. I got nothing to do anyway, so. Classic rabbit and hare situation. I know. Summer Bloom. I'm like, could I have gotten that? I don't think so. I knew it was some kind of green spell to do at lands, but I don't think I would have landed on Summer Bloom. I maybe could have gotten the quest for the Holy Relic. Like that was one of the first set that I was like cracking boosters of and stuff was Zendikar. So like I'm like, could I have gotten that? But nah,
it's not
stirred nothing for me.
It's not the sort of artwork that really stays in your head unless you're Niall Graham, of course.
Yeah, that's really weird. It wasn't even good in limited or whatever. I don't know how Niall
I don't remember ever casting it in limited. You were along the right lines with the Summerbloom guess. So you guessed cultivate, so like ramp spell.
Yeah. You know. So I kind of knew it wasn't. It would look too old to be cultivate, but I was like, I knew it wasn't rampant growth, and that just didn't leave me with many ideas, to be honest. Very nice. Yeah, that was tough. Were there any else I could have gotten? I don't think so. I think I'm pretty happy with how I did that round, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Niall just schooled you with the point change, to be honest.
Yeah, he really did. His idea, very suspicious. All I'm saying.
All right, so
how's it going, Niall?
Penultimate round, we have our music round. So I have taken the liberty of playing the greatest deck of all time on Magic Arena. It contained like 60 planeswalkers and 80 dual lands, so that I could cast these planeswalkers just to get them to say quips for this round of this quiz. And I played them against people in like the casual ladder over and over again, just casting planeswalkers, losing games, casting planeswalkers. It was a funny story. I'll maybe share the deck list, but the deck list is hilarious.
That's really funny.
I just googled MTG Arena voice lines, and there's videos on YouTube for every planeswalker DJ.
Nope. Let's not bother. Let's not go down that route. So, are you guys?
Zachary Dace does it. Apparently, uploads every planeswalker. Shoutouts to him.
Are you guys listening to the stream?
I can turn it on now.
Okay.
So tell us when to mute and unmute it, because it's confusing hearing ourselves talk.
Sure. Okay. So first one. I suppose I will outline the pointing system. I'm going to give you 1 point for getting the planeswalker's name right, and then
I don't think this will work, guys, because I'm listening to the stream on my phone and it's like 5 seconds behind.
Well,
it's going to be delayed for me as well. I think we just have to wait until we hear the music.
Just wait until you hear it.
Unless you can play it into your mic somehow, DJ. No, that's more complicated.
No, I can. I think I can actually. So, let me test with some music first.
Sure.
Okay.
Can I request Sandstorm by Darude, please?
Absolutely not. Let me know if you can hear that music.
You might have to turn off your noise suppression thing if you have that turned off, because it cut it out. We heard it for a millisecond now.
No. Alright. We can also just skip the music round and go straight to the final round, or
I feel bad since you put so much work in.
I did put a lot of work in, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
we could save that one because you still have it, right? We can save that one until we can set it up to do it.
Okay.
On another occasion.
Yeah. I mean, surely.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Cheech.
That was your win percentage with the deck, by the way.
Okay, so I mean, Ciaran, you're just screwing yourself here. Obviously, Niall wants to get to the end because he's in the lead.
Oh, it's a good point. Yeah.
But we're just gonna go straight to the last round then, and it is going to be a game of 20 questions for all the marbles. So we have had all questions be worth like 1 point so far. The pointing system for this makes all the previous rounds obsolete.
Brilliant.
Because I'm going to... Basically, if you get it right straight away, you're going to get 20 points. If you ask one question, then the point decreases by 1. So if you get it after one question, you'll get 19 points. After 2 questions, you get 18 points, and so on and so forth. So,
and how does a guess counts as a question, or you only get one guess?
A guess
or
will count as a question.
Okay.
All right. And you're looking to get it before you've asked all 20 questions. Otherwise, you're going to get 0 points. So.
Well, this is also, but there's only 1 or there's 2, because that makes it incredibly easy for the second person, because they know exactly how many points they need.
I mean, we because we skipped the last round, we might have time to do 2.
Okay.
Each.
But 1, I'm saying 1 is better, because like, if Niall gets it in 3 questions, then I need to guess on the first guess because I'm 3 points behind, right?
I mean,
or else I can't get enough points.
That's just the nature of the beast here.
Okay.
All right. So, Ciaran,
Yeah.
You are in last place currently, so you are going to
Okay.
go first.
It's second place. Let's say second
You're in
place.
last place. You're going
All
to go
right.
first. So I have 6 cards here.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie. One of them is like a trap that I don't think anybody's ever going to get, so you want to avoid that one. There's also one gimme, and then there's like 4 moderately these cards, just to add a little bit of intrigue to this. So I have 6 cards.
All right.
Give me
Could
a
just
number
play with the
between
4
1
good
and
ones,
6.
but sure. Okay. I'll take card number 3.
Card number 3.
Whatever that means.
Oh, yeah, I got that off screen just in time
Nice.
because
Okay.
I opened it up and almost showed it to everyone. So it's just
I
20
would have
questions.
liked that. 20 questions. Okay.
Go for it. You can ask me anything you want about the card, and I will answer yes or no.
And I'm just. This isn't back and forth between Niall and I.
No,
Or
this is
it?
just
No.
you.
Okay. Okay. Is it a permanent?
No,
Is it a sorcery?
no,
Okay. Is it monocolored?
yes,
Is it blue?
no,
Is it red?
yes,
Does it have the word target on it?
yes,
Is it lightning bolt?
no. Good try.
Is its mana cost greater than 2?
No,
There's so many burn spells to go through that I hope it's not a burn spell.
have I done it to you? Have you got the really tough one? Find out.
I'm just
all
gonna
this and
look up
more.
lightning bolt because I want to count words.
Okay.
Sure.
Lightning bolt deals 3 damage
that's
to
fine.
any target. Yeah. Does it have more than 10 words in the rules text?
You have to make me read. No.
Okay. If it is a burn spell, this is so shitty.
Holy shit.
I'm on 10.
You're on 9, so this will be
You're on
question
9.
10. If you were to guess here and get it right, you would get 10 points. Or no, you would get 11 points, sorry.
Okay. Does the name of the card have multiple words?
Yes. Hope that narrowed it down for you.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I know it's
Okay.
not like Firebolt or Braid or Shock or whatever. Is the mana cost 1? CMC. Like the
1 CMC? Yes.
1 CMC.
Ooh.
Okay. And it's more than 1 word, and it costs. Yeah, and it's red. So 1 CMC, 2 words? What?
You also know, I believe, it's not a permanent and it's not a sorcery.
Yeah. Does it have the word draw in the rules text?
No.
Does it have the word damage in the rules text?
Here's the key one. No.
Oh, okay. I'm on 13.
There's a card in my mind that's been in my mind for the past 4 questions, but
And it does have the word target. I asked that
It
earlier, right?
does, yeah.
It does have the word target. This is really hard. I don't know where to go from here. I'm really confused. That's more than one word. And it doesn't have the word damage. And it doesn't have the word draw. What the hell is left? I'm actually like completely drawing a blank, to be honest. What else do cards do? What else do instants do apart from draw cards and deal damage? That targets something.
Don't like to see
Um,
people stuck. But there are other things that red instants do other than deal damage. That's obvious at this point, because it doesn't
Yeah,
have damage in the text box.
That's still target things is what's
They target artifacts.
oh true. Less than 10 words on it. I don't know. I might have to give up.
I think of an idea if you want to hear an idea.
Red instant. It's 1 mana. Oh right, yeah, it could be that. Is it shatter?
No, it's 2. It's 2 mana.
That one.
Oh,
Costs
that's 2 mana. Oh yeah.
Chat assist. Yep. Put some answers in the chat. Love to hear answers in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the chat.
No, me neither.
Yeah. Yeah, does the rule text contain the word artifact?
No.
No.
Good question.
Also, shatter is 1 word anyway. I already knew that. Damn it.
But at least that eliminates a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah, true. No, I don't know. I don't think I can get this. I think I give up. I don't have a clue.
All right. Is give up the final answer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to be 5 minutes of silence.
I think I knew what it was around 12 or 13, maybe.
Okay. What do you think it is now?
Red Elemental Blast.
Red Elemental Blast is incorrect. So, Ciaran, I think you drew the short straw here. I think you did actually pick the duds. The answer was Brute Force.
I don't know that card.
Oh, it's +3/+3 to target creature, right?
Yeah, it's just
right,
the red
okay,
giant.
Yeah. So obscure, man.
Yeah. That one was kind of the dud. Maybe we'll just eliminate duds if we ever do this again, because
That's what I told you beforehand.
In fact, I feel bad. Ciaran, do you want another one?
No,
give me
no,
another
this
one.
is...
Go on.
No, we only have 10 minutes left. No, Niall, you go.
All right.
All right. Okay. Niall. So I mean, this is a victory lap for you, really.
Like, okay. Can I ask, are these physical magic cards you picked from your room?
That's what I thought it was. You said you had 6 cards in front of you.
Right.
Oh no.
Why would you have a copy of Brute? I've never heard of Brute Force. Why would I know that card? I didn't play during Plater Chaos.
So the reason I picked Red Elemental Blast because it's an iconic magic card that DJ Creative thought was a good option, you know.
Yeah. No, we if we ever do this again, we won't do that. We'll pick because the rest of them are cards everybody knows.
Oh,
right, okay.
Brilliant. Okay.
That seems very unfair. But sure, I'll do one. Why not?
All right, sure. Number between 1 and 5.
5.
5. Okay, right.
Sure.
There you go.
Or is it a permanent?
Yes.
Is it a creature?
Yes.
Is it converted mana cost 3 or less?
Yes.
Okay. Is it converted mana cost 2 or less?
Yes.
Oh no, sorry. Is it? That's stupid. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't. Is it converted mana cost 1?
Yes.
Okay. Does it have a power of 1?
No.
Okay. Does it have a power of X?
No.
Does it have a power of 2?
Oh, was that the question? Does it have a power of 2?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm on a 2x. Is it Is it white?
Yes.
Is it hmm. I think a good question to ask. Is it human?
No.
Is it Savannah Lion?
He's only gone and done it. It is Savannah Lions. That is 10 points for you, Niall.
Classic boomer. It's amazing. It could have been any 2-1 for white after Savannah Lion, and I wouldn't have got it.
An unplayable limited card versus one of the most iconic creatures of all time. This is outrageous.
It's also outrageous because there are plenty of 1-mana 2-1s, and Savannah Lion's the only one I would have got.
Yeah, I know you would have gotten. Well, it wasn't a 2-1; it was just a 2x, right? So it could have been like Isumaru or something. Yeah,
Isumaru.
Isumaru is another one you might have thought of, I guess. But I was pretty confident somebody would get Savannah Lions. Well, I mean that brings us to the end of the quiz, and if you look at the scores, it's a huge whitewash, to be honest.
I got absolutely destroyed here, guys. Yeah, to be honest.
It was never close at any point. Like Niall just steamed ahead. Right from the
Even
beginning.
if I had somehow arrived at the answer to my last question, it would have been far beyond the chance to close the gap.
Give Ciaran his 7 points for me feeling bad from the last one, and he still wouldn't have won. So we don't feel so bad anymore. All
right, well, you got 5% of me in my next biggest tournament now. Nice one.
There you go.
I wish you all the best. Good luck.
What are you going to do with all your winnings now?
Well, it depends how big it is. I
mean, it's obviously going to be big.
Obviously, I suggest that just flick it in the Sunday Storm this Sunday. Or not the Sunday Storm, the Sunday Million. Do that.
Nice.
Do that.
I think
do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
I admire Ciaran's confidence skipping around Shark Bait. Yeah, I'm just doing it for the podcast, It's it's just so DJ can finish on time without getting shouted at by his lovely fiance.
that is also true. So I mean, we'll wrap up here. But Niall, it's been great to have you back. Do you want to close us out?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
do you want to shout out any social media, anything at all?
Sure, yeah. I suppose I'll shout out what I'm doing at the minute, which is a metal band called KOMA. If you search for it, KOMA, if you search for us on anywhere you get music, that's YouTube Music or Spotify or anywhere, Amazon, anywhere you get music, we're there. Instagram, I suppose, is KOMA_official_NI. We'll put all the links in the chat. Nice. I'll give them to DJ, and just keep an eye on it. We'll not be playing too much live because playing live is a huge expense. But we will be releasing loads of material and then playing live down the line. So, thanks. And again, thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah, you're welcome back.
I hope to be back when I'm playing games in full swing and actually have useful things to contribute games-wise.
100%. You always have useful things to contribute now. Just being here is a useful thing to contribute. So, and thanks very much for the chat as well. We had a good chat going tonight. Pete rightly asking, when can I expect my meat hook? He did.
Niall can take that out of his winnings.
I'll take that out of my
next tournament. Yeah. So.
But by the time Ciaran plays a tournament of the right,
it'll be like $5 at that point.
Exactly. It'll be 10 years time. So.
All right. Cool. Yeah. No, it's been great. Thanks for coming on, Niall, and thanks very much for putting together that quiz, DJ. That was super fun. So
cheers.
Much appreciated.
Cheers everyone for tuning in. If anybody was watching us and wants to follow, give us a follow. And all the socials and stuff are on the page. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter as well, and keep up to date with the podcast on Spotify. I aim to put up all the episodes the next day, pretty much. So sometimes it doesn't happen though. We have lives too.
But sure.
Thanks very much, everyone. Great to have you.